What if the solution to that sluggish, uncomfortably full feeling after a big meal isn't in some $50 bottle of proprietary
All
supplements,
right. Yeah.
but it's actually just sitting on your kitchen counter right now, costing, I don't know, maybe 25 cents?
Exactly. I mean, usually when we talk about everyday wellness and specifically the very finicky world of our stomachs, we just get dragged into this swamp of diet culture.
Oh, completely. It's like we are constantly sold the idea that to fix a complex biological system, we need this equally complex, highly engineered, and frankly, very expensive
It
solution.
really is a relief to step away from that marketing hype, honestly.
Yeah.
Every time you look at your phone or walk down a grocery store aisle, you are just bombarded with conflicting claims about what you should or shouldn't be putting into your body.
Yeah, the diagnostic muddy waters.
That's the absolute definition of it, yes.
Which is why I am so thrilled about our mission for today's deep dive. If you are listening to this right now and you have ever felt bogged down by uncomfortable abdominal pressure or, that heavy lethargic feeling after eating, this deep dive is tailored specifically to give you the biological roadmap to feeling better.
And we're using a really great source for this.
We are. We have our hands on this single, laser-focused source document titled Foods That Help Reduce Bloating.
Right.
And our goal today is to extract the exact list of 6 items this text highlights.
Okay, let's unpack this. We aren't just reading a grocery list here. We're going to look under the hood to find out exactly how these specific foods physically alter your internal chemistry.
And that is the critical distinction. It is one thing to be told to eat a certain food, but, in a world characterized by information overload, understanding the physiological mechanisms, like the actual biology of why something works, is what transforms a random tip into a reliable tool.
Yeah, it takes it from a fad to a fact. Exactly. And this text isolates precisely 2 benefits, supporting digestion and reducing bloating. And it applies them across 6 distinct types of food.
Right, and those are ginger, yogurt, bananas, cucumbers, peppermint, and fiber-rich foods.
That's the list.
So if we look at this roster, it is not just some random assortment of things pulled from a hat. There is a distinct narrative through line here based on how our digestive system actually operates.
Yeah, you can really see the structure in it.
Definitely. We can almost break this down into 3 phases. You've got foods that soothe an active flare-up, foods that maintain your daily equilibrium, and then foods that structurally remodel your gut for the long term.
I like that breakdown. Let's start with phase 1.
Yes, the active flare-ups. So you just ate a heavy meal, the alarm bells are ringing, and your stomach is distended. The source text points us immediately to ginger and peppermint.
Right.
Now, culturally, we associate these intense flavors with medicine, but what is the actual biology here? Like, why do these 2 specific flavor powerhouses actually ease abdominal pressure?
What's fascinating here is that the sharp, undeniable sensory impact of these items is directly linked to their active chemical compounds.
Okay.
Let's look at ginger first. When you are bloated, often what is happening is a delay in gastric emptying.
Meaning the food is just stuck.
Literally just sitting in your stomach, yeah, fermenting and producing gas.
Yeah.
But ginger contains a bioactive compound called gingerol.
Gingerol. Okay, so what exactly does gingerol do when it hits the stomach?
It acts on the serotonin receptors in your gut.
Wait, serotonin? Like the brain chemical?
Yeah, exactly. Your digestive tract actually has an enormous number of serotonin receptors, and down there, they help regulate movement.
Oh, wow. I have no idea.
Yeah, so gingerol stimulates these receptors and essentially signals the stomach muscles to contract in this coordinated way. It accelerates that gastric emptying process.
Oh, I see. It pushes it along.
Right, it moves the food from the stomach into the small intestine much faster.
Okay, so if the food is a traffic jam causing all this honking and gas, gingerol acts like a highly efficient traffic cop, waving everything through the intersection and clearing the bottleneck.
That is a perfect analogy.
Mm.
It improves gastric motility. But peppermint acts in almost the exact opposite way.
Really?
Yeah, which is why they were such a fascinating pair in this document. Peppermint contains high levels of menthol.
Right, menthol, which is super cooling.
Exactly. And instead of stimulating movement like ginger, menthol is what we call an antispasmodic.
Wait, let me stop you there. If it stops spasms, doesn't it relax the stomach?
It does.
And if you just said, we need ginger to make the stomach squeeze to move food along, wouldn't relaxing it just cause another traffic jam?
That is a brilliant question. And it gets to the heart of how targeted these compounds are. Menthol specifically targets the smooth muscles of the lower digestive tract, so the colon, not just the stomach.
Oh, okay, so it's working further down the line.
Yes. When you have severe bloating, Those lower intestinal muscles can cramp and spasm, trapping gas behind these tight muscular walls. Menthol actually acts as a calcium channel blocker.
A calcium channel blocker.
Yeah, it literally blocks calcium from entering the muscle cells of your intestinal walls. And since calcium is what causes muscles to contract, blocking it forces those specific walls to just, relax.
So the spasms stop, the walls open up, and the trapped gas can finally pass through smoothly.
Exactly.
That is incredible. So ginger pushes the traffic forward from the top, and peppermint opens up the blocked lanes at the bottom.
That's a great way to visualize it.
But I have to ask, can I just eat a peppermint candy after dinner and get this benefit?
Unfortunately, no. The amount of actual menthol in a sugary candy is negligible. Plus, the high processed sugar content can actually ferment in your gut, making the gas much worse.
Ah, so it backfires.
Right. To get that antispasmodic effect, you need the concentrated oils. You'd get that from, say, steeping actual peppermint leaves in a tea or taking a pure peppermint oil capsule.
Okay, that makes sense. So that covers our active flare-up phase, the emergency responders. Now we move from putting out fires to maintaining the daily balance.
The everyday stuff.
Yeah, and here's where it gets really interesting. The text moves straight from these potent, specialized medicinal plants to bananas and cucumbers.
Right. Which seems so ordinary.
They really do. Now, I can somewhat understand cucumbers, right? They are basically crunchy water. But bananas are dense, heavy, and starchy.
They definitely are.
If my stomach feels like a stretched balloon, why on earth would I put a dense, heavy banana in there?
It seems totally counterintuitive until you look at the primary cause of water retention, which is a massive contributor to that feeling of being bloated.
Okay.
When we consume highly processed or restaurant foods, we're usually taking in an excessive amount of sodium.
Right, all that hidden salt.
Exactly. And sodium causes your body's cells to hoard water, leading to that tight, swollen, heavy feeling.
So your body is essentially panic hoarding water because it thinks there is a drought of some kind due to the salt.
Exactly. And the biological mechanism to unlock that trapped water is the sodium-potassium pump.
The sodium-potassium pump. Okay.
Yeah, potassium and sodium operate on this chemical seesaw in your body. When sodium is high, potassium is usually low. So by eating a banana, you are delivering a massive dose of readily available potassium.
I see.
And that signals your kidneys to start filtering out the excess sodium and, along with it, the excess trapped water.
So the banana isn't just adding physical bulk to your stomach. It is acting as a chemical key.
Right.
It's flipping a switch in your kidneys to flush out the water weight that is causing all that abdominal pressure.
Precisely. It is a biological flush. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this is why the inclusion of cucumbers alongside bananas is so scientifically sound.
Because they team up.
Yes. The source text pairs them because they attack this swelling from two different complementary angles. If the banana acts as the chemical key to tell the kidneys to release water, the cucumber acts as the physical vehicle to carry it out.
Because it is primarily water itself.
Yes, but it's actually not just hydration.
Oh, really?
Cucumbers contain an antioxidant flavonoid called quercetin.
Quercetin?
Yeah, and quercetin is actively anti-inflammatory. When your digestive tract is irritated from digesting a heavy meal, the tissues can literally swell, restricting the passage of gas and food. The quercetin in cucumbers actively reduces that tissue swelling.
Oh, wow. So if you combine the potassium from the banana, telling the body to release the trapped fluid, and the hydration and quercetin from the cucumber calming the inflamed tissues, you are essentially resetting the internal equilibrium.
You're telling your body to stand down.
That is exactly what you are doing.
And it really highlights why this source document is so valuable. It's pointing us toward foods that provide foundational, cellular-level maintenance without requiring, a prescription pad.
Which is such a democratizing thought. You don't need a specialty health food store. You just need the produce aisle of your neighborhood market.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have the emergency responders, ginger and peppermint. We have the daily equilibrium maintenance bananas and cucumbers. Now we need to tackle the final phase of our digestive narrative.
The long-term gut remodeling.
Yes. And this brings us to the final two items on the text list. Yogurt and fiber-rich foods.
Right. We're moving from immediate relief to structural integrity.
Right. So what does this all mean? Let's start with yogurt. Unlike everything else on this list, yogurt is an animal product. It is dairy.
It is.
And a lot of people associate dairy with causing bloating, not curing it.
That is a very valid concern, and it really comes down to lactose, the sugar found in milk. Many adults just lack sufficient lactase, which is the enzyme required to break lactose down.
Right.
So when undigested lactose hits the lower intestine, the bacteria down there are just feasting on it. They ferment it and produce massive amounts of gas.
Right, which leads to terrible bloating. So why on earth is yogurt on this specific list?
Because yogurt is fermented, cultured dairy. During the yogurt-making process, specific strains of beneficial bacteria, most commonly lactobacillus, are added to the milk.
Okay.
And these bacteria essentially pre-digest the lactose for you. They act like a microscopic demolition crew, breaking down the complex milk sugars before they ever even reach your stomach.
So by the time you actually eat the yogurt, the problematic sugars have already been dismantled.
Exactly. But it actually goes further than that.
Yeah.
When you consume the yogurt, you aren't just getting the pre-digested nutrients, you're actively swallowing that demolition crew.
Huh.
You are populating your own digestive tract with those probiotics. These beneficial bacteria establish colonies in your gut, and they actively compete with the bad, gas-producing bacteria.
Right, they set up shop.
Yeah, and they help your body break down other foods more efficiently over time.
Okay, I love the idea of sending in a friendly microscopic demolition crew, but this leads me to the absolute biggest question mark I had when reviewing this source material. The final item on the list is fiber-rich foods. Frankly, this feels like a trap.
A trap.
Yeah. I mean, if someone is dealing with severe bloating, eating a massive bowl of fiber like bran or raw broccoli is almost guaranteed to make them inflate like a balloon. Fiber is notorious for causing gas. How can a text focused entirely on reducing bloating definitively recommend fiber?
Well, this raises an important question about nuance, and it highlights a fundamental misunderstanding most people have about fiber.
Okay.
We tend to think of fiber as one single monolithic thing, but it is not.
It's not.
No, there are two primary types, soluble and insoluble fiber, and they perform radically different tasks in the gut.
Okay, break that down for me. What is the difference?
Let's start with insoluble fiber. This is the rough, woody stuff. Think of the tough stalks of celery or the outer bran of wheat. It does not dissolve in water.
Okay, so it just stays intact.
Right. It acts like a stiff, bristled broom, sweeping through your digestive tract to push waste out.
A broom. Got it.
But if you are already bloated and your system is inflamed, shoving a stiff broom through there is going to cause irritation, and the gut bacteria will aggressively ferment it, causing massive gas.
Right, the balloon effect. So the source text must be talking about the other kind.
Correct. The key to reducing bloating is focusing on soluble fiber. Soluble fiber, which you find heavily in things like oats, apples, carrots, and psyllium husk, actually does dissolve in water.
Oh, I see.
Instead of acting like a stiff broom, it acts like a sponge. As it moves through your digestive tract, it absorbs water and forms a thick, soothing gel.
A gel? That sounds much gentler than a broom.
It is incredibly gentle. This gel slows down the digestion of complex carbohydrates, which prevents the rapid fermentation that causes those sudden spikes in gas production.
Oh, that makes sense.
And crucially, it also acts as the primary food source, like the fertilizer for that probiotic demolition crew we just talked about sending in with the yogurt.
Ah, so the yogurt provides the workers, and the soluble fiber provides the building materials for them to reinforce the structural integrity of your gut.
Exactly. And the gel also bulks up the stool in a soft, lubricated way, making it much easier for the intestines to pass waste without needing to spasm or strain.
That's brilliant.
However, the golden rule when introducing fiber, even soluble fiber, is titration.
Titration, meaning taking it slow.
Yes. If you haven't been eating fiber, your gut bacteria aren't adapted to it. If you introduce a massive amount on day one, they will be totally overwhelmed and you will get bloated.
Okay, good to know.
You have to start with small amounts, maybe just a spoonful of oats. And critically, you must increase your water intake simultaneously.
Because of the sponge effect.
Right. Because soluble fiber acts like a sponge. If you eat it without drinking enough water, the sponge dries out and causes a blockage.
Oh, wow. That is such a vital piece of context. The text gives us the fiber-rich foods, but without the how, you could actually make the problem worse.
Exactly.
You need soluble fiber, you need to introduce it slowly, and you need to hydrate the sponge.
Precisely. Yeah. And when you look at the source document holistically now, you can really see the sheer brilliance of its simplicity. It isn't just listing foods. It is offering a complete biological toolkit.
It really is. We started with what looked like a random grocery list, But by diving into the biology, we have uncovered a highly sophisticated strategy for digestive health.
It's all connected.
Let's make sure we are locking this in because this is incredibly practical information. For everyone listening, if you want to bypass the diet culture nonsense and actually alter the chemistry of your gut, here is your definitive 6-item toolkit.
Let's hear it.
First, for the active flare-ups, you have your emergency responders. You have ginger, which uses gingerol to speed up gastric emptying, and peppermint, which uses menthol to relax the colon muscles and stop spasms.
Perfect.
Then, to maintain daily equilibrium, you have your chemical balancers. Bananas, which use potassium to command your kidneys to flush out trapped sodium and water, and cucumbers, which use quercetin and hydration to soothe and deswell inflamed digestive tissues.
The everyday heroes.
Exactly. And finally, for long-term gut remodeling, you have your structural engineers. Yogurt, which delivers a probiotic demolition crew to break down gas-causing sugars, and fiber-rich foods, specifically soluble fiber, which acts as a hydrating sponge to regulate digestion and feed that good bacteria.
It is a remarkable progression, honestly. And remember, the text connects every single one of those items directly to those two specific outcomes: supporting digestion and reducing bloating.
Right.
You don't need to employ all 6 simultaneously. You simply select the tool that matches your current physiological need. The functional goal remains exactly the same.
Absolutely, because true learning isn't just about absorbing a list. It is about application.
Very true.
The next time you're at the grocery store staring down an aisle full of confusing labels and aggressive marketing, or, the next time you are prepping for a meal and want to avoid that awful sluggish feeling afterward, you now have a rapid, reliable, scientifically backed checklist.
Yeah, you don't have to overthink it.
You can completely bypass the info overload. You have a targeted strategy for digestive comfort right in your pocket.
And as we wrap up, I think understanding the complex biology behind these simple items raises one final, really compelling point to consider.
Oh, what's that?
Well, we've seen how a banana is not just a snack, but a potassium delivery system that alters kidney function.
Right.
And we have seen how peppermint is an active muscle relaxant. It just makes you wonder if the profound physiological solutions to such universal discomfort are hiding in such common items. What other simple everyday foods are sitting in our kitchens right now, quietly possessing the potential to completely transform our daily comfort without us even realizing it?
Man, that is such a great question to leave on. It really makes you look at your pantry as a hidden pharmacy.
It does.
Well, that is all the time we have for today's exploration. Thank you so much for joining us and letting us help you cut through the noise to find the actual science underneath.
It was a pleasure.
Until next time, remember that the most powerful solutions don't always come in a pill bottle. Sometimes the solution is as simple as understanding exactly how a cucumber works. Stay curious and take care of yourselves out there.